All glory to the higher power for putting breath in our lungs. My name is Tunde Young. Welcome to episode 17 of the TRT Talk Sports Show, baby. We started the show with a clip of John Cena. Very, very, very emotional. The only way to start the show. That, in fact, is my highlight of the sporting weekend. John Cena calls time on his 23-year wrestling career. He retires from the WWE as an active wrestler, and he did it on Sunday night in the main event against Gunther in Washington, D.C., where he fought his final fight, and he lost to Gunther. And even though that loss leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because why would John Cena leave on the back of a defeat? I also understand from the perspective of the showrunners that you can't retire as the champion. I mean, the belt has to be vacated, and so I completely understand it. But again, John Cena hustle, loyalty, respect, a symbol of a lot of WWE fans' identity. Is the undisputed greatest wrestler of his own generation. I know undisputed sounds controversial because, you know, guys like The Rock were in this generation, guys like Batista, guys that have transcended WWE and gone up to become pop culture icons. But John Cena, for even people that do not watch wrestling or do not know what the WWE is, they know John Cena. They know You Can't See Me. An absolutely incredible personality. Is a symbol of inspiration, a symbol of hope, and I wish him all the best in retirement as he focuses entirely on Hollywood now, making all of those movies. His loss to Gunther, he tapped out in that loss. Only the fourth time in his career that John Cena would tap out in a WWE fight. The first time that happened was in 2002, in his first year. He tapped out against Chris Jericho. A year later, he did it again against Kurt Angle in 2003. In the same 2003, he tapped out against the late Chris Benoit. And now, 22 years later, he taps out against Gunther. And he smiled. He gave a wry smile before tapping out for the final time in his WWE career. A truly emotional moment. There were tributes flying from right and center. Fighters sending in videos and words of encouragement, words of admiration towards John Cena. Incredible. Randy Orton could not be there because he's in Saudi Arabia doing what they call the Beast Games. I don't know what that is. It has something to do with Mr. Beast. But he also sent his own congratulations and stuff. So, congratulations to John Cena once again as I move on from that, from one GOAT to another. Blocked by James! If you watch basketball, you know that is potentially the greatest piece of commentary of all time. In the 2018 finals, Iguodala running, game tied at 89 with 1 minute 40 something seconds on the clock. Iguodala about to lay it up from behind, blocked by James. And guess what? 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 8 years later, or 7 years later, 7.5 years later, more accurately, LeBron James has done it again. As a 40-year-old, this man does not tire, does not rest, does not decline. In the game against the Phoenix Suns, the Lakers won that game by just a single point. One of the most exciting NBA games of the season, with lots of drama going on with LeBron and Dillon Brooks and all of those guys. Ben Goodwin had a clear lane to the hoop and was running to make an easy layup. And guess what? Even though he's a former Lakers player, LeBron was not taking any prisoners. Guess what? LeBron creeping up behind him, carrying him off the glass, and the commentary went, blocked by James. I will cry. I will shed real tears the day LeBron James retires. I will not be able to put myself together and give a well thought out or a coherent eulogy to him, because I would be in shambles. I'll leave the basketball updates to Tosin Abayami, who will give us another news with Tosin at some point in the show. He's been gone for a while, but I'll be back. But right now, let's go to the meat of the show. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, I have a huge announcement to make. Say Paul. I just sọ pé Paul. First your neighbor and sọ pé Popper. I'm moving on characteristically. I've never said those words in my life before. But also, I've never been to Morocco in my life before. So, for the first time, I am going to the African Cup of Nations, baby. Sorry if I'm yelling into your ears. I'm very, very sorry. I'm just really excited. Afocn is on the horizon, kicking off on the 20th of December. And guess who's going to be there? Just guess. Just go ahead and guess. Guess. It's me! Today Young is going to the Afocn. Da 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 da. And I will be trying my best to bring you the best of content. So this is the last TNT Talk Sports Show episode from the stables of Nigeria for a while. All of our content now will be exclusively international, at least for the next period of 1 month. So refer to us as the international podcast. You feel me? The international content page. That's what we're going to do here. And even though my producer is not coming with me, so bear with us if the quality of the content is not going to be the same, because I don't have producer traveling money. But we will get there someday. But right now, that's all you need to do. We're going to the Afocn. I'm going to be previewing the Afocn on this very episode of the show, because this is the last episode before the Afocn. Who is in what group? Who are the favorites? Who are the players to look out for? Who are the coaches? Where are the stadiums that's going to be happening? What cities are they going to be happening from? When to when? I'm here to give you the lowdown on every single thing. But first, the Super Eagles squad for the Afocn 2025 in Morocco came out after we had shot the last episode, so it paid me go. I would have loved to tackle it on the last episode, but I can do it now. I made a video to react to it on my Instagram and TikTok, on my socials. Thank you very much for accepting that video pretty well. You people are showing me love on those platforms nowadays. I really appreciate it. Thank you for accepting those videos really well. I talked about the squad and some surprise selections, it has to be said. 6 surprise selections, and I made a separate video about those ones, which you guys are also showing love as well. Igor, who set back plays for Slavia Prague, makes the squad. You have Mustafa Mohamed, who is probably the most surprising one. 31 years old, currently plays in Israel with Ironi Tiberias. Hasn't played for any Nigerian national team since he played for the Chan Eagles all the way back in 2018. So it was a very confusing selection, but he makes his way into the Super Eagles list alongside Tochukwu Nadi, the young star who plays his club football in Belgium for Zulte Waregem, makes his way into this list. Ryan Alebioshu, defender for Blackburn Rovers, makes his way into this list. First time call up for him, first time call up for Mustafa Mohamed, first time call up for Tochukwu Nadi, first time call up for Ebenezer Akisomiro of Pisa and on loan from Inter Milan. Now is now of Pisa and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And last but definitely not least, Salim Fago, first time call up for him, the striker who plays in Croatia with NK Istra. So those are the surprise inclusions, but that's not all of them. One more surprise inclusion, in fact the most surprising of all the inclusions, Francis Uzoho is in the squad. I was just going to let you hear Francis Uzoho's reaction to being selected. He was the first to arrive in camp, maybe before they change their mind. Reach camp in Egypt. We'll talk about who is in camp and who is not. But first of all, let me hear Francis Uzoho's reaction to being in the Super Eagles squad and his first interview as a Super Eagles player for the first time since 2023. Francis Uzoho has not played for Nigeria in 2+ years. Let's hear what he has to say.
I missed quite a lot. But I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp, because we've been quite a lot together. And I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. So I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to, but in general I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now, but it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. If you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready. And if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody, and Stanley is my brother. You know, he's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
Welcome back. That was Francis Uzo talking about what he missed the most since he's been away from Super Eagles. The Omonian Nicosia goalkeeper who has played 4 games for his club this season, so he's not the number one. Stanley Mabali is injured at the moment. We hope he's fit enough to start at the Africa Cup of Nations. If he's not, then you would have to assume that Francis Uzo will be donning the goalkeeping jersey for the Afcon with Maduka Okoye not in the squad. One of the biggest controversies so far. Anyway, 11 of the 28 call-up players are in squad in the camp already in Egypt. Francis Uzo, I mentioned already, Stanley Wabali, Fisaya Dele Bashiru, Ebenezer Kesamiro, another player we will hear from very shortly. Amas Obasogie, so all 3 goalkeepers are in camp. Shemi Ajayi, Ademola Lookman, Bright Osai Samo, Igor Ogbu, Tochukwu Nadi, and Zaidu Sanusi are in camp already at the time of recording. Also expected tonight, I record this on Monday, so expected on Monday night in Egypt at Shemi Ajayi. And yeah, so I beg your pardon. Those are it's the same, basically the same list. So 11 are in camp already. In case you are not aware of what list I'm talking about, let's just assume that you've been living under a rock and you somehow did not see the Super Eagles list. Very controversial, might I say. But here are the 28 players who were taken to the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 in Morocco. 3 goalkeepers: Stanley Wabali, Francis Uzo, Amas Obasogie, the usual suspects. Defenders are Calvin Bassi, Zaidu Sanusi, Shemi Ajayi, Bruno Yemachi, Igor Ogbu, Chidozie Awaziem, Bright Osai Samo, and Ryan Alebioshu. Midfielders are Wilfred Ndidi, Frank the Tank Onyeka, Fisaya Dele Bashiru, Mohamed Usman, Alex Iwobi, Ebenezer Akisomiro, Raphael Onyedika, Tochukwu Nadi. The forwards: Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, Akko Adams, Samuel Chukwueze, Cyril Dessers, Salim Fago, Moses Simon, Chidozie Ejuke, Paul Onuachu. So 9 forwards are listed, 8 midfielders are listed. How many defenders can I count here? I count 8 defenders as well. So calculating real time, that's 25 already, and then 3 goalkeepers, making a 28-man squad. I already made what I feel about this squad known, and everybody's opinion on this squad is very, very valid. With the surprise exclusions, Maduka Okoye, Tolu Arokudare, we are hearing reports that both of those players requested to be left off the list because they wanted to focus on their clubs. Even Christantos Uche, I do not know how true that is, but if it's true, maybe it does make sense because Tolu Arokudare has been called up in every single Super Eagles list this year. The Super Eagles of Nigeria played 11 games in total this year, including friendlies. I'm not talking about the Chan Eagles, the regular Super Eagles of Nigeria. And Tolu Arokudare played in 10 of those games. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense that he will be dropped for the most important ones, which is the Afcon. Eric Shell seems to trust him. So that aside, look at someone like Maduka Okoye as well, who in my opinion should be our starting goalkeeper anyway, but not making the squad. But Francis Uzo comes back into the squad 2 years later. There are lots of inconsistency. Mohamed Usman, there's maybe no justification for that. Tochukwu Nadi, youngster, I get it. Ebenezer Akisomiro, who we should hear from now anyway, speaks about joining the Super Eagles squad and how it's a dream come true for him, and he has been looking forward to playing for the national teams at under 17 and under 20 levels, and maybe was just not good enough. And we also learned in this interview that Ebenezer Akisomiro used to be a barber, or still is a barber. So maybe he will give Super Eagles players good cuts in camp. Let's hear what he has to say.
So you are a barber. You can actually barb professionally.
Yeah. I know to.
You know how to barb.
Yeah. Orúkọ mi ni Akínsánmi Ebenezer, ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù fún Pizza, SC àti fún Super Eagles. I was not even expecting it, to be honest. Like, I'm not expecting it. So because I was first call up, like doing the qualifier for the World Cup. I was called up, then I got injured. So when they called me up, when I just see the invitation, like, to be honest, like, I called like someone who is closer to me, then I start to cry. because it has been my dream for so long. I've been like trying to play for national team for so long since under 17, under 20. Uh, I think like then maybe I'm not good enough, you know. So, but I just feel like maybe when I keep on pushing and give all my possible best, maybe one day I'll be called up to a national team. To be honest, I don't really watch football like that because, where I grew up, you have to pay before you can watch games, you know. So we are not allowed when I was young, so we couldn't have the chance to like watch games. So I love to play football, but I didn't watch football a lot. But when I was like growing up, like making it serious about I want to become a footballer. Yeah, I love like watching. Like I will do watch him like on YouTube, which is Mikel Lubi, and I like the way he plays. Like from the under 20 World Cup, like I like the way he plays. I also a coacher. Like, I only watch these people on YouTube, their highlights, to be honest, and I love them. What inspired me is people around me, like my dad, my brothers. Both of them they play football when they were young, and my dad also played football. And then I chose to play, but there was a time like I was like, football is not like it's not like something in it's not like something like it's like 100% you will like make it from it, you know. So I have to like learn a work. So I quit football for some months, years like this. Then I have like, oh, let me learn a barbing work like this. But my dad, my brothers really inspired me to become a football player.
Anyway, that's you just heard from Ebenezer Akizamiru. Congratulations to him on the Super Eagles first Super Eagles call up. We hope he can get some minutes. And that's what I'm looking forward to. That in this Afcon, it's not just about calling up new players for the sake of sensationalism. Let it actually be a rebuild. We can't call up 9 midfielders, a lot of whom are new faces, and then continue to play the same Iwobi in the Onyeka midfield that is very, very tired and uninventive. So let us actually give some of these new players a chance and see what we can achieve in Morocco. Speaking of the Afcon, let's do our full Afcon preview. Which teams are in which group? Nigeria is in Group C, along with Tunisia, Tanzania, and skips my mind at the moment. But let me open my resource and get down to it right now. Here is your ultimate AFCON guide. Group A features Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. In Group B, we have Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. In Group C, it's Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania. In Group D, we have Senegal, DR Congo, Benin Republic, and Botswana. In Group E, it's Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan. And in Group F is the defending champions, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. The total Africa Cup of Nations prize money growth over the years has been ridiculous. In the year 2000, the winner's prize was $500,000. Runners up was $250,000. In 2010, it was $1 million, $750,000 for runner up. In 2019, this is a decade by decade breakdown. In 2019, it was $4.5 million for the winners and $2.5 million for the runners up. Last time out in Ivory Coast got $7 million for winning the AFCON. And Nigeria, who finished second, got $4 million. I don't know if that money touched the players, but we'll find out shortly, I'm sure. So the AFCON this year's 24 teams expanded at the last tournament. The expansion timeline goes as thus. The first AFCON was only 3 teams in 1957. In 1962, it was 4 teams. Then in 1968, it increased to 8 teams. Then in 1992, we had 12 teams. Then from 1996 up until 2017, we played the 16-team format that a lot of us were accustomed to. The 16-team format is when I first started watching AFCON, and it's when a lot of us first started watching AFCON, actually. That's what we all know for the majority of our lives. And in 2019, we saw it switched over to 24 teams. So, which of these 24 teams are going to emerge champions? My money is on Morocco as the host. They have a good team, plus they're the host nation. But right now, let's check out the stadiums where the action is going to be happening. The Stade Olympique Annex Complex Sportif Prince Moulay Abdullah. Waiting happen. It's one stadium. You go to say like 6 stadiums. Anyway, let me see this. The Stade Olympique Annex Complex Sportif Prince Moulay Abdullah 21 capacity stadium in the city of Rabat. The complex Sportif Prince Moulay Abdullah is also in the city of Rabat. 69,000 capacity, 69,500 capacity. Complex Sportif Prince Erithier Moulay El Hassan in the city of Rabat, 22,000 people can fit in there, and the Stade El Barid in the city of Rabat will host 18,000 people. That's just 4 of the stadiums that are going to be used. 9 will be used in total. The Grand Stade de Agadir in the city of Agadir, 45,480 people can enter there. Grand Stade de Marrakesh in the city of Marrakesh has the 45,240 capacity. Grand Stade de Tangier in the city of Tangier, 75,600 people can cram into that. Stade Mohammed in the city of Casablanca has 67,000 capacity, and the Complex Sportif de Fez in the city of Fez will host 45,000 people, and that's where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will play at all our group stage games. We are the only team that is actually based in Fez in this tournament, so we play all our group stage games in Fez. And then if we top our group, if we top Group C, we'll play our round of 16 game as well in Fez. If we do not talk about our group, we move away from Fez. So that is the stadium breakdown that you need to know at this moment in time. Do we need to know about the official match ball? Maybe not, but the official... Okay, let me just take us through the official match ball real quick. The official match ball for the Total Energy CAF Africa Competition Morocco 2025 is named E3. And it features a striking design with traditional Moroccan geometry patterns categorized by central star geometry, floral petal outlines, and circular ball symmetry. If it's going to be as fun as the Jabulani, then I welcome it. The Moroccan mascot is called Assad. I don't know if I'm imagining, but I think that's also what the mascot for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar was called. But Assad is a lion. So Assad the lion, I will see you in Morocco. The host nation, Morocco, will stage the Total Africa Competitions for the first time since 1988 as the country prepares to also co-host the FIFA World Cup in 2030. It is ready to welcome visitors from across the globe, and they are doing it by using the Yala app or the Yala platform. Anyway, let me give you the basis of each team. Morocco will be based in Rabat, along with Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania, DR Congo, Benin Republic, Botswana, and Algeria. In Casablanca, we have Mali, Zambia, Comoros, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan. In the city of Agadir or Tagazout, it's Mozambique, Gabon, Cameroon, and Egypt. In Marrakesh, it's South Africa, Angola, Zimbabwe, and Cote d'Ivoire. In Fez, it's just Nigeria, and in Tangier, it's just Senegal. So that is the full breakdown of where the 24 teams are going to be based in the African Cup of Nations. If you are wondering, what are the Afocn records so far that we should know going into this tournament? There are multiple Afocn records that may be broken at this tournament, who knows? But one will definitely not be broken, and it is the most titles won. That's held by Egypt 7 times. Egypt have won the Afocn in 1957, the first one, 1959, 1986, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. So nobody's breaking that one, at least at this tournament, because the closest to them is Ghana with 4. Most wins at the tournament is also Egypt with 60 wins. Most games played at the tournament is Egypt with 111 games, so they've won 60 out of 111 Afcon games in their history. Most tournaments hosted is also Egypt. They hosted in 1959, 1979, 1986, 2006, and 2019. Most successful appearances at the Afcon finals, at the Afcon tournament is Tunisia. Tunisia are on a run of since 1994 up until this very moment. Tunisia have not missed a single Afcon. They're on a run of 17 consecutive Africa Cup of Nations tournaments since 1994. So that's very, very impressive. Most clean sheets kept at a single tournament is Cameroon with 6 in 2002. And even then, it was a 6-game tournament, so they went through the entire tournament without conceding. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Cameroon, that their team was one of the best teams in the world. It was a shame they could not translate their dominance to the global stage. But on the continental stage, they were unplayable, they were unbeatable, they were ridiculously strong, fast, clinical with Samuel Eto'o in his prime, Mboma, Rigobert Song. It's what a team. I have PTSD just talking about it. Most appearances in Afcon finals. Egypt hold the record with 10. Egypt have played in 10 Afcon finals and they've won 7 of those. But they were finalists in 1957, 1959, 1962, 1986, 1998, 2006, 2008, 2010, 2017, and 2021. Most appearances at the finals tournament, that's most Afcon appearances ever, is also Egypt with 27. Egypt are the undisputed best team in African football history. That's not arguable. Most consecutive titles won, Egypt again. They did a three-peat in 2008, they did 2006, 2008, and 2010. I was there for that. They traumatized me. Most clean sheets at a single tournament, Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire hold that record with 6-6. Cameroon in 2002, Cote d'Ivoire 10 years later in 2012. Most appearances, most goals at the finals tournaments. Egypt have scored 175 Afcon goals in their history. For coach records, the coach with the most tournament matches is Claude Leroy with 38. Coach with the most tournament appearances is also Claude Leroy with 9. Twice as Cameroon coach in 1986 and 1988. Twice as Senegal coach in 1990 and 1992. DR Congo coach in 2006. Ghana coach in 2008. DR Congo coach again in 2013. Congo coach, this is not DR Congo, but Congo Brazzaville in 2015, and then Togo coach in 2017. People to have won the AFCON as both player and coach. 1957 and 1998, Mohamed El Gouari of Egypt, he won it in 1957 as a player, won it in 1998 as a coach. And the late great Stephen Keshi, God rest his soul, Big Boss, 1994 as a player, 2013 as a coach. The coach to have won with multiple teams is Hervé Renard, 2 with Zambia and Cote d'Ivoire. Zambia in 2012, Cote d'Ivoire in 2015. Coach with the most titles is Charles Giamfi of Ghana, 1963, 1965, and 1982. And Hassan Sheheta of Egypt, 2006, 2008, and 2010. The man at the helm of the three-peat. In the history of the AFCON, all the best players in the tournament, an exclusive list. In 1957, the first ever best player of the tournament was Adiba of Egypt. 2 years later, Mohamed El Gouari of Egypt won it. 1962 saw Menguti Waku of Ethiopia win it. In 1963, it was Hassan El Shazli of Egypt. Osei Kofi of Ghana, 1965. Kazadi Mwamba of DR Congo, 1968. In 1970, it was Laurent Pokou of Cote d'Ivoire. Jean-Pierre Tokoto of Cameroon in 1972. Ndai Molamba of DR Congo in 1974. Ahmed Faras of Morocco in 1976. 1978 was Karim Abdulrazak of Ghana. 1980 was Christian Chukwu, the boss, the late great Christian Chukwu, passed away earlier this year. In 1982, Fauzi Al-Isawi of Libya. 1984 was Theophile Abega of Cameroon. 1986 was Roger Miller of Cameroon. 1988 Roger Miller of Cameroon as well. 1990 Rabamaja of Algeria. Abedi Pele of Ghana, 1992. Rashidi Ekini, late great, of Nigeria, 1994. Kalusha Buaya of Zambia in 1996. Benny McCarthy of South Africa in 1998. Laurent of Cameroon, the Arsenal defender, in the year 2000. Rigobert Song, defender of Cameroon, in the year 2002. JJ Okocha was the best player in 2004 AFCON. Ahmed Hassan in 2006 for Egypt. Hosni Abdurrabo of Egypt in 2008. Ahmed Hassan again in 2010 for Egypt. Christopher Katongo for Zambia in 2012. Jonathan Petropia for Burkina Faso in 2013, even though they lost the final to Nigeria, an award that should have gone to Emenike or Brown there or somebody on that team. I remember Victor Moses, it doesn't matter. Christian Asu in 2015 of Ghana. In 2017 was Christian Basagog of Cameroon. Ismail Benassar was the best player in Algeria for 2019. Was best player for Algeria in 2019 when they won the tournament in Egypt. 2021 was Sadio Mane of Senegal. And 2023, the most recent best player in the Afcon was William Troost-Ekong, who has now called time on his national team career. The players' records, Rigobert Song made most tournament appearances along with three other players. Rigobert Song in 1996, 98, 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008, and 2010. For Ahmed Hassan of Egypt, Andre Ayew of Ghana, and Youssef Msakni of Tunisia. All those players went to 8 different AFCONs and hold the record. Most matches played in the AFCON was Rigobert Song, 36. It still is Rigobert Song, 36, along with Andre Ayew. Andre Ayew cannot pass the record because Ghana did not qualify. So it's going to be Ayew and Song, both with 36. Most titles won as a player is Ahmed Hassan. He won 4 titles, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. That's very, very impressive, spanning 12 years. Sam El Adari as well, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. The most hat-tricks in the AFCON is Sam El Shazli with 2, 1963 and 1970. Most goals scored in a single tournament by a player is Mulumba Ndai, 9 goals for DR Congo in 1974. Most goals scored in a single match is Laurent Pokou for Cote d'Ivoire. 6-1 victory against Ethiopia in 1970. Laurent Pokou scored 5 of those goals. Fastest goal in AFCON history, a tournament that could be broken, a record that could be broken at this tournament. 23 seconds, Ayman Mansour for Egypt in a 4-0 win against Gabon. So Egypt are in this tournament, Gabon are also in this tournament. Maybe they can recreate. Most AFCON goals of all time, Samuel Eto'o with 18 of them things. So that is the full AFCON history breakdown. Now let us go group by group and see who can top each groups. In Group A is Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. As much as Morocco are starting to establish themselves as a team to reckon with in African football at the moment, they've not always been that. They've only won the AFCON one time in their history in 1976. Other than that, they lost the final in 2004. Well, that's the best they've done since then. Maybe this is the year that they finally win the AFCON again. And the AFCON tends to favor host teams that are very good already. So I think that maybe Morocco will win this AFCON, who knows? But they should definitely top their group, which features Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. And I think that it's even arranged the way they are going to finish. I think Morocco are going to top this group. I think Mali are going to be second. Mali are a very good team in my estimation. They are coached by Tom Saintfiet. They were coached by they are formerly coached by Eric Cher, who left them to join Nigeria. I remember that last AFCON where they lost the quarterfinals to the Ivory Coast, but they probably should have won that game. This time around, they still maintain the core of the squad. They have a good coach, and I think that they are going to do well. I think they will most likely finish second in this group. Zambia third, Comoros fourth. That's how I'm shaking the dice of Group A. In Group B, Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. I don't think Egypt can top this group. I'm rooting for Egypt. Full disclosure, I'm rooting for Egypt in this tournament because of Mo Salah. I want Mo Salah to do well. I want Mo Salah to win a major tournament for his country before he calls it quits. But can they get over the hump of facing all these top teams, especially from group stage level? This is a potentially difficult group. There is a strong chance Egypt have the same amount of chance of finishing bottom of this group and topping this group. It can happen either way. Angola, we saw them at the last AFCON, made the quarterfinals. They lost to Nigeria, but we saw the kind of team that they have with their points man Mabululu, fantastic goal scorer, especially at the AFCON. And then South Africa, they are rebuilding their reputation as a good team in African football right now. They had a great qualifying round. They had a great World Cup qualifying round as well, through to the World Cup for the first time since 2010. But Mohamed Salah is old and is declining. Even Omar Mamouche, that is supposed to be their next best player, is out of form at the moment, doesn't get a minute at Manchester City, and even when he gets minutes, is not looked very good. So that's my worry with Egypt. But a major tournament can, galvanize the players and really unite them. They are led by Coach Osama San, the Egyptian football legend, and I think that, who knows? Maybe Egypt can find a way, but I think Bafana will do very well at this tournament. So Egypt might finish second in that group. Bafana, top of the group. Angola third. That's my prediction for Group B. In Group C, which is where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing, I think Nigeria will top this group ahead of Tunisia, Uganda and Tanzania battle it out for third and fourth. Although Uganda might most likely finish third and Tanzania are going to be bottom. The Super Eagles of Nigeria have a very, very good AFCON record. 15 times out of the 20 times we've gone to the AFCON, we've made the semi-finals. We've played the most amount of games possible. There are two ways to play the most amount of games possible in a major tournament. You either get to play the final, or you play the third place game. And the way to achieve both is to get to the semi-final. So when you get to the semi-final, you're guaranteed to go the distance, but it's either way. Nigeria has gone the distance 15 times out of 20 appearances. We are more likely to not qualify for the AFCON because we've missed the AFCON 13 times. Hear me, we are more likely to not qualify at all for the AFCON than to get to the AFCON and then not get to the semi-final. It's just not what we do. And I think that this time around, again, we are going to make a deep run, even though everybody is not comfortable with the configuration of the squad. We play against a Tunisia team that are in very, very good form at the moment. They are on a ridiculous run of unbeaten games. Our coach Sami Terabelsi, an experienced football coach, former international defender, known for his tactical intelligence and calm leadership, and he was a member of Tunisia's 1998 World Cup squad. He's really galvanized this team, and they have quite a number of good players. Although recent AFCONs have not really gone in their favor. They've not even made the semi-finals since winning the AFCON in 2004. Best they've done is quarterfinals on 5 different occasions. They beg your pardon, they actually did make the semi-final in 2019. So that's the breakdown on Tunisia. For Group D, we have Senegal, DR Congo, Benin Republic, and Botswana. Is this the group of death? Group B is also giving group of death vibes because South Africa, Egypt, Morocco. No, not Morocco. Angola. South Africa, Egypt, Angola. That's a potentially difficult situation. South Africa, Egypt, Angola, and Zimbabwe. But this Group D as well looks pretty tough, as in Senegal, DR Congo, Benin Republic, and Botswana. If we are going simply by the last few years of qualifying football, Benin Republic have been really good. Genero has done a good job with galvanizing this team. Yes, when it came down to it and they needed to beat Nigeria in Nigeria to advance to the next round or to the World Cup, they just fell short. They're absolutely railroaded by the Super Eagles of Nigeria, by Victor Osimhen in particular. But their entire campaign was very, very impressive, punching well above their weight. DR Congo as well, another team that has had a running with Nigeria and actually bested Nigeria to advance to the intercontinental leg of the playoffs, are in this group as well. So lots of ground there. Everybody knows who Senegal is and what they are capable of. Even though Senegal have only won the AFCON once in their history, when they did it in 2021, and then they went on to crash out of the group stages in the last round of 16 in the last episode, which is a theme that we are noticing, that once you win the AFCON, you are almost guaranteed to have a terrible outing next time around. But I think Senegal, with the way they've performed in qualifying, should top this group. I have DR Congo second, Benin Republic probably will take the third place spot, and Botswana should be the whipping boys of this group. Let's see what is happening in Group E, where Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan. Burkina Faso, I want to make a bold claim. Burkina Faso will top this group and will survive the group unbeaten. In fact, I see them having 7 points, minimum of 7 points, but most likely even 9 points. Equatorial Guinea are no longer the banana peel that they were in the last time. Emilio Nsue is no longer with the team. The team is not what they were. Sudan, no disrespect to them, but they should finish rock bottom of this group. Algeria, in my opinion, are not as good as Burkina Faso. I think Burkina Faso are a better team than Algeria. They will prove it at this tournament as well. We've seen the level of development that Burkina Faso football has witnessed. last time they crashed out of the round of 16 the last time, but before then they finished fourth and then they finished third. So got to back-to-back semi-finals in 2017 and 2021. Where runners up, lost the final to Nigeria in 2013, led by Edmond Tapsoba and Bertrand Traore. Brahma Traore is the coach. This team is quite impressive. They'll be up against an Algerian team led by Vladimir Petkovic. Algeria, who were champions in 2019 and 1990, but back-to-back group stage exits in 2021 and 2023. In fact, 3 of their last 4 AFCONs have ended in group stage exits. 4 of their last 6, if you want to really go all the way back. So, like, this is not... I'm not afraid of Algeria in an AFCON setting, as that's just the way to put it. The last group, Group F, might actually be the group of them. There are lots of potentially difficult groups here. Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. Mozambique, dark horses for the tournament. Mozambique have a way of turning up and ruining your day as a top team. They did it to Ghana at the last AFCON. When Ghana thought they were about to qualify, and Mozambique said, nope. So they've exited the AFCON in the group stage every single time they've been to the AFCON. In 1986, 1996, 1998, 2010, and last time out in 2023. Led by Reynudo of Sunderland nowadays, formerly of Atletico Madrid, and Jenny Katamo as well is one of their most famous players, plays in Sporting Lisbon at the moment. They have a good team. Chikin Okonde is the coach. They have a good team, but I don't see them finishing anything higher than 4th in this group because they are in a difficult group. And Gabon were very, very impressive with the World Cup qualifying series. Very, very impressive. Very unfortunate that they were in the same group with Cote d'Ivoire, where Cote d'Ivoire finished the qualifying series without even dropping a single game, and Gabon had to settle for second place, and where they now lost the playoffs to Nigeria. So an unfortunate run of events for them. Now they face Cote d'Ivoire again in the group stages of the Africa Cup of Nations. Thierry Morima's team did not make the last AFCON, so they are making a return to the tournament. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang might be appearing in his last Africa Cup of Nations this time around, so maybe that's another motivation for them to do well. The rest of the supporting cast includes Dennis Bouanga, include the Lemina brothers as well. So I think that Gabon, in my opinion, are going to finish second in this group. I have Cameroon finishing third because AFCON does not respect pedigree. Cameroon's house is in fact, you know what? I take it back. Mozambique said Cameroon rock bottom. Cameroon's house is not in order. They come into this AFCON with controversy, uncertainty, 2 different AFCON lists. Samuel Eto'o is rumored to be influencing the list. He has his own personal coach. He sacked the coach. The coach says he's not sacked. There's a lot going on. I don't even know if Cameroon will play at this AFCON because we don't know what team they're coming with yet. But from the official list that we've seen, no Vincent Abubakar, no Andre Onana, no Zambo Anguissa. Anguissa is due to injury. So although Bram Mbeumo is on the list and you expect him to be at the tournament, but Cameroon, since winning the AFCON in 2017, have known nothing but struggles in their football. I think that struggle is going to continue. I had them last, Mozambique third, bold call, but I'm doing it. Gabon second, Ivory Coast, in my opinion, should top this group. But again, like I said, there's a proven history of defending champions struggling in the very next Africa Cup of Nations. Ivory Coast secured their 3rd AFCON title by beating Nigeria in 2023 final, which they hosted. They come to this AFCON with Sebastian Haller as one of their standout players. They are also going to be missing quite a number of superstars. Samuel Adingra is not in this squad list. Nicolas Pepe is not in this squad list as well. Interesting choices by Emas Faye, the coach, the coach who shocked the world by the time he took charge of this AFCON team, of this Ivory Coast team, in the middle of the last AFCON, like in the middle of the group stages. So let's see if you can uphold that and do something similar to give Ivory Coast a chance to defend their crown. That's the best way to put it. Anyway, that's my AFCON guide at the moment. We have to pivot to other things, and right now, let's see what's happening in other sports, in other news with Tosin.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the T&T Talk Sports Show. My name is Tosin Abayam. We'll be talking about other news with Tosin. We'll be previewing a little bit of basketball, NBA. We'll be talking about WNBA. We'll be talking about boxing. And Welcome. It's been a while. I've been on the show, but it's good to be back. So let's start with the NBA. There were a lot of games in the NBA last night. Obviously, the NBA Cup is the most important thing right now because in the NBA Cup you have the matchup that everybody is looking forward to, which is the matchup between the New York Knicks against the San Antonio Spurs. A shocking matchup. Obviously, the New York Knicks defeated the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference side of the bracket in Las Vegas. They defeated the Orlando Magic 132, 120. Jalen Brunson was spectacular in that game. And in the other semi-final, the San Antonio Spurs recorded a 101 109 victory against the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was an exceptional game. San Antonio produced a shock result, were able to defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder and defeat their second defeat upon the reigning NBA champions. But that was on Saturday. So on Sunday we had very, very important games. Obviously, a very, very shock results. The Washington Wizards that have been in a poor run of form, they defeated Indiana Pacers 108-89. The Charlotte Hornets behind Con Kneppel, who is one of the favorites for the Rookie of the Year, were able to defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers 119-111. The Atlanta Hawks recorded a 121-17 win over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Brooklyn Nets, they steamrolled the Milwaukee Bucks 127-82. The Minnesota Timberwolves recorded a 117-103 win over the Sacramento Kings. The New Orleans Pelicans recorded a 114-104 win against the Chicago Bulls. And the Los Angeles Lakers in a very, very exciting thriller. They were very much ahead throughout the game, especially in the third quarter, but Phoenix came back very, very late. So, but the Los Angeles Lakers were able to record a 116-114 win against the Phoenix Suns, and the Portland Trail Blazers produced a stunner against the Golden State Warriors 136-131. Those are the results, and that means in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons have a 20-5 record to lead the conference. The New York Knicks have an 18-7 record. The Boston Celtics have a 15-10 record. The Orlando Magic have a 15-11 record. Fourth place, the Toronto Raptors have a 15-11 record. The Miami Heat have a 14-11 record. And the Philadelphia Sixers have a 14-11 record. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a 15-12 record. And the Atlanta Hawks have a 15-12 record also. In the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder 24-2 leading the pack. The Denver Nuggets 18-6. The Houston Rockets 16-6. The Los Angeles Lakers 18-7. The San Antonio Spurs 18-7. The Minnesota Timberwolves 17-9. And the Phoenix Suns 14-12. Those are the only teams with winning records, and obviously there are a lot of games that will take place today. We have the Celtics against the Pistons, we have the Heat against the Raptors, we have the Jazz against the Mavericks, we have the Nuggets against the Rockets, we have the Grizzlies against the Clippers before the NBA Cup final between the Knicks and the Spurs. And this, let me just say a little bit about the Knicks and the Spurs. Obviously, I think the NBA was going for a Knicks versus Thunder matchup, which is supposed to be a preview of the NBA Finals later next year. But the Spurs were able to provide a shocker and win that game. And I think in this final, I think the Spurs are going to actually make it. I think the Spurs are actually going to get it done. No disrespect to the Knicks. The Knicks have a lot of talented players, but it's just that Victor Wembanyama creates a mismatch problem for the Knicks. And Karl Anthony Towns is a stretch big. If his three is working, it will make it very, very interesting. But aside that, I do not know how else the offense is going to work. Defensively, the San Antonio Spurs have massive athletes in Devin Vassell, in Stephen Castle, in Dylan Harper, in Harrison Barnes, in Jeremy Sohan, even Wembanyama himself, and De'Aaron Fox. I mean, this is a massive team in terms of athletes. So I think the Spurs should be able to get this one. And I want to comment on one of the viral photos that have gone viral on social media this week. A photo about the biggest on-court NBA moments of the 21st century. And obviously, it starts with number one, blocked by James. Number two, Kobe scores 81. Number three, Ray Allen from the corner. Number four, the Kawhi bounce. Number five, Draymond below the belt. Number six, Curry goes night night. Number seven, LeBron's legacy game versus Boston. Number eight, Kobe's final game. Number nine, free throw disparity in the 0-2 Western Conference Finals. And number 10, Dame Waves away OKC. Now, we will talk about a few things. I like the order. I think the block by James has now become one of the most overrated things in the NBA history. Obviously, it's a very iconic moment, but I don't think it's that. It's that I think the number one iconic moment in the 21st century will be Ray Allen from the corner, actually, which is number three. I think Ray Allen from the corner, that game against the San Antonio Spurs changed the perspective of LeBron's legacy in 2013 because people were already leaving the arena at the Americans Airlines Arena in Miami because it was in Game 6. The San Antonio Spurs were already leading, and Greg Popovich made a mistake, which was taking out LeBron James out of the team, taking Tim Duncan away from the team in a timeout because he didn't want them to switch on Tim Duncan for a layup. But what that means is that they lacked a little bit of size, and when they shot the ball and it came back and got to the hands of Chris Bosh, he was able to kick it out to Ray Allen for the corner, and that was who tied the game, and the game went to overtime, and the Miami Heat won that game. If that did not happen, that would mean that LeBron's time in Miami, he would have won one title, which would have been a disgrace. I don't want to say another 2 titles in 4 years, not achievement, but one title in 4 years, that would have been a massive disgrace. Also, another important NBA moment that should be higher. The Dame Waves OKC at number 10 should be higher because Dame waving away OKC is what actually created the rebuild of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are now leading the NBA with massive distance, and obviously with a lot of draft coming down the line. So what happened was that Kevin Durant just left OKC for Oklahoma City for Golden State, and they were back-to-back champions and during the third season, the Oklahoma City rebuilded. They went to get Paul George from Indiana, and by getting Paul George from Indiana, they teamed him with Russell Westbrook, and with Russell Westbrook, they felt they were very much as contenders. Russell Westbrook and Paul George. In that series, Dame was able to take control, and in Game 6, he was able to send the OKC away, and that had a ripple effect on the league because what it meant was that the Oklahoma City believed that San Francisco believed, you know what, this core of Russell Westbrook and Damian Lillard, 2 seasons in the playoffs, they couldn't get it done. They lost to Donovan Mitchell and Utah Jazz in the first season. The second season, they lost to the Damian Lillard. So he just broke it up. He sent Russell Westbrook to Houston, and eventually sent Damian Lillard to the Los Angeles Clippers, amassing a boatload of picks and Shea Alexander, who is the reigning MVP. Some of those picks have now even resulted into Jalen Williams. So as a result of that, I think that is the most consequential, second biggest moment in the NBA in the 21st century. So that is it for the NBA. The next thing we'll be talking about is the fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. And I have to say, at first I did not take this fight seriously. I did not take this fight seriously because obviously I thought it was going to be an exhibition. But after after several after several confirmations, the result of this fight will go on each professional on their professional cards. Obviously, Anthony Joshua is an established fighter, an Olympic gold winner, multiple world champion at heavyweight level. So it means the fight is of very much importance. And I've been looking into what people have been saying about the fight, and I think this is going to be an explosive event. The way I'm seeing Jake Paul prepare for this fight, I think Jake Paul in camp has been of the utmost seriousness, and he brought in sparring partners of the highest level. I mean, he brought in Don Charles, the former trainer of Daniel Dubois, and Daniel Dubois was the last person that fought Anthony Joshua. And Daniel Dubois knocked out Anthony Joshua in the fight. Then his two coaches, Theo Chambers and John Love, incredible coaches with incredible boxing IQ. But the most important thing were his sparring partners. Lawrence Okoli, who was obviously before his fallout with Anthony Joshua, Lawrence Okoli, he and Anthony Joshua were former sparring partners, and obviously that is a very, very good prototype for Anthony Joshua. The next is Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez is one of the most skillful heavyweights in the world. Obviously, we know the Cuban level of boxing, and we know how they prepare. And Gerard Anderson, one of the most hyped US prospects in the world. So I think like bringing in Okoli, Sanchez, and Anderson, it shows that Jake Paul is very, very much serious about this fight. And all these three heavyweights are incredible heavyweights. Like all three of them are ranked in the top 10 in terms of boxing, and all of them said that like they gave Jake Paul hell, and he was able to withstand it. They were able to lean on him. They were able to go back for him. So I think this fight this weekend, December 19th, I think it's going to be one for the ages. A lot of people may be writing off Jake Paul, but I think he may be actually better than we expect. So that is all I have on other news with Tosin on the TNT Talk Sports show. And obviously will be the Africa Cup of Nations is coming, and obviously we'll be talking a little bit of football and other stuff as it relates to the Africa Cup of Nations. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, like, and be expecting more from Tosin on the TNT Talk Sports show. Take care.
Thank you very much, Tosin Abayami, for that review of what's happening in the NBA. We'll bring you more, of course, from Morocco, baby. But right now, let's talk about the Nigerian players. Who is going to Morocco, who is not? We don't care. Right now, it's about how they performed in their clubs over the weekend. Cyril Dessers is in the Afocn squad list, and he opened the scoring for Panathinaikos in their home win against who did they play against? I don't know, but they won 2-1 at home and against Volos. So Cyril Dessers scored the opening goal, and then he won the penalty for the second goal, celebrating his call up to the Afocn. Rafiu Durosimi for Victoria Pilsen scored a fantastic goal. Dope goal. I can't show it to you because of copyright, whatever. But it's a great goal. It's not in the Afocn list. Speaking of the Afocn list, both Akko Adams and Chidera Ejike of Sevilla were named in the Afocn squad list, and they both scored in Sevilla's big win against Real Oviedo by 4-0. Sevilla 4, Oviedo 0. Akko Adams scored. Chidera Ejike scored a ridiculous goal. He was just embarrassing his markers all day. Nigerians were finding the back of the net over the last weekend. Tolu Ayokodare scored his first Premier League goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers. His third for the club, but his first in the Premier League. As Wolves lost 2-1 to Arsenal. Tolu's late goal, he thought it was in the 90th minute, and he thought they had helped Wolves to secure a valuable point away to Arsenal, but an own goal robbed them of that joy just a few minutes after that. Kamil Bassey scored his first goal of the season for Fulham as they won 3-2 away at Burnley. Samuel Chukwueze is impressed with a brilliant assist. He's been tearing it up since joining Fulham recently. And Alex Iwobi also featured for Fulham. All 3 players are in the Afocn list and the Super Eagles squad list for the Afcon 2025 and should be in Morocco. They should be heading to Egypt first. They should join the squad in Morocco after that. Victor Osimhen, of course. Who else? He scored another goal for Galatasaray as a breeze past Antalyaspor. 4-1 winners. Osimhen scored 1 goal from an acute angle. So, is that the end of the updates? This update brought to you by Eagles Tracker, of course. Love the work that they're doing. Semi Ajayi putting a good effort in defense as All City secured an important away win against Millwall, and is also in the Afcon squad lists. Just a quick tidbit. Victor Osimhen has 31 goals in 46 games for Nigeria with 12 assists, so that's 43 goals and assists in 46 games. Mohamed Salah has 61 goals and 34 assists for Egypt in 107 games. Those are the 2 headliners for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. So we will see. We will see. Anyway, let's see who has scored the most goals for Nigeria. The Super Eagles are highest scorers at the Afcon. Rashidi Yekini with 13 goals is by far and ahead Nigeria's most prolific Afcon player in 24 games, followed by JJ Okocha with 7 goals in 22 games, Segun Ojegbami with 6 goals in 10 games, Julius Agawa 6 goals in 15 games, Odion Igalo 5 goals in 7 games, a ridiculous ratio, the best ratio on the list. Peter Odemwingie with 5 goals in 16 games, William Troost-Ekong with 5 goals in 16 games. Muda Lawal with 5 goals in 22 games. Maybe Victor Osimhen can find his way into this list. He currently has 1 goal in about 6 or 7 Afcon games. 6 games, I think. So at this tournament, maybe he can really, pad his stats and find his way up there. Earlier in the week, Christos Uche in the Europa League scored his first goal for Crystal Palace. They won 3-0 in the Europa League away at Shelbourne, and Christos Uche scored for Crystal Palace to secure all 3 points. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for working with us. At this point, last time I checked, we had 112 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much. We have nearly 1,000 followers on Instagram and on TikTok as well. We are still open for your participation and support. You guys are the best. You are amazing. Thank you for doing what you do for TNT Talk Sports Show. This show is going to skyrocket during the AFCON. TNT Talk Sports live in Morocco, baby. Talk to me nice. Send money. You. And our giveaway winner, this is the last time I'm going to say it. This is the last week. If you do not respond to claim your winnings for the giveaway, we will select another winner. It's as simple as that. In fact, let us do it like this. Now let me know who listens to the show to the end of this thing. So, if you want to be the next giveaway winner, it's first come, first serve. Type on YouTube right now, I am the winner, and type the jersey that you want. Type it now. If you do that, you win. If it's the previous giveaway winner that does it first, he also wins. But if he doesn't do it and you first him and do it, you win. So when you do that, immediately you do that, send us a message on IG, on IG, with proof of your comments, of your subscription to the channel, and of your following the rest of the channels or of the social media pages, and you get your jersey that you want. So that's it. There's nothing complicated here. We don't do fake giveaways over here. Thank you very much to all of you that participate in making this show what it is, to bring you this wonderful content. My name is Tunde Young. I will see you next week from the land of Morocco.